Oh, hey there. It's that time to take a very cynical look back at the NXT.
On a wrestling show, baby.
Well, welcome to The Wrestling Show. I'm your most fickle host, Lip Hazlewood, and this is a very cynical look back at the latest episode of Representing the WWE and live from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. It's the NXT. Air date, September the 5th, 2023. This episode is the road to a No Mercy. No Mercy. But before we dive into the show, just a quick shout out to the non-combatants. That's right, to non-competitors in this whole show. I usually do it. Usually, they have the man, the authority figure, but they haven't really been showing authority figures lately. Not for like a long time. It's true. But the last authority figure was Shawn Michaels, complete with his theme music. By moi. Of course, with that, next, of course, is getting all the pre-match interviews and all the backstage scoops. It's the team of Mackenzie Mitchell and Kelly Kincaid. And heading into the ring, it's the announcer. It's Alicia Taylor. And last but certainly not least, it's the commentary crew, the play-by-play guys, the hosts, and I even call them the narrators of the whole damn show. They are the team of the two-time Hall of Famer, and the man with the checks and championships on his mind, Shucky Ducky Quack Quack. It's Booker T. And backing up, Mr. T. It's the voice of reason, and a tippity-top commentator in his own right. It's Vic Joseph. And now, without any further ado-dos, it's time to start the show. And we start with the big one. It's a championship match. Now, I think it would have been better, perhaps, if this would have been the closer of the show. The closer. But they have a no disqualification match at the end, so what you gonna do? Which is, I really do think this would have been the closer, the ending with this match here. But they got a story to tell, and these guys just happen to be the blunt of the, the bad decisions. And who's fighting, of course? It's defending and, she is the current champion and defending champion. It's Tiffany Stratton versus Kiana James. Tiffany Stratton with their looking like an all-new gear. Looking fantastic. Kiana James gone through a massive fatal four-way to get to this point. Now, what about this match? This match was about a little bit over 5 minutes. This was a pretty good match. This was all right. This was an all right match. It wasn't great, wasn't bad. It was right in between. Right, sneaks right there. Ooh, yeah. Now it gets weird. It sneaks between for a couple of reasons. Ooh, yeah. Like I say, there's a lot of back and forth in the match here. Kiana James is getting upper hand on Tiffany Stratton, knocking her to the corner area. Right? Then it gets weird. Because when Kiana James is going in for the kill is the referee stops her, blocks her, like shoulder tackles her. Nope, not today. Not on my beautiful Stratton. She's too beautiful to be punched in the face in the corner. So, I guess the referee was straight up smitten by Tiffany. Enough so that, he literally blocked off Kiana James. That's when Tiffany turned things around yet again. But like I say, this is back and forth. I just showed this moment here because the referee was showing some sort of biasm in this match. I thought, wow, what's going on there? So now, at the end of the match area, the end sequence was Kiana James with the upper hand once again. Tiffany Stratton stretches outwards for the hand, but a clutch. I believe it's, Kiana James' clutch. She always goes to the ring with a clutch. Who knows if she's going to keep on doing that in the future. But it's a clutch. She grabs it. That's right. It's I guess Tiffany Stratton wanted to use this as a weapon. So she turns around. She gets up, turns around. She tries to bash Kiana James in the head with it. But however, Kiana was too quick. And she understands that bag more than anybody in the world. And she ducks it. And the bag goes flying. But still in the ring, though. Barely. After that, it's Kiana James. She gets her 401k, her finisher. It's the Sling Blade Flatliner. The Sling Blade Flatliner. But however, Tiffany Stratton was too fresh to get pinned like that. Not like that. She kicks out of the finisher. Now, this is where it gets weird. Even more stranger. This referee decides to take the clutch and walk that clutch from one side of the ring to the other side of the ring to hand it off to somebody outside of the ring to make sure that the clutch is being held accountable and no one's going to take it and it's in good shape. Rather than just sliding outside the ring with his foot. So while he's doing that, Kiana James is going for one of her finishing move. It's she's done it before, and it's done in half a second. It's like eat the feet, except with the knee. She jumps up, we hit you with the knee, grabs you in the face, and drops backwards on her back, and like it's a knee to the jaw, like a go to sleep style. But while she's setting up this really slow one this time, she gets raked in the eye behind the ref's back too. Oof. Eye poke. She got a poke of the eye. Hey, a poke-o-doo, poke of the eye. That's right. And then Tiffany Stratton picks up Kiana James on her shoulders, fireman's carry. And then with a front bump senton, wham-ho, sets her up for her finishing move, which is the prettiest moonsault ever. And Tiffany Stratton does not let anybody down. That moonsault was absolutely gorgeous. Was gorgeous, baby. And she squashes some, Kiana James. But Kiana put up a mediocre fight. But however, it picks up after the match. It's a little bit of I guess ego is her head's just too big for her body. I don't know. I say that. It's because last time we saw Tiffany Stratton was visiting old Becky Lynch. Visiting Becky Lynch in the main roster there. And to apologize to person to Becky Lynch. Because apparently she cut a promo on NXT saying that Becky Lynch was a former NXT champion. And she says, I apologize. I didn't know you weren't a champion. I didn't want to. It was just hilarious. But anyways. So it's Becky Lynch. She's like, maybe I'll show up on an NXT. And so she does. And she lays down a challenge. Not really a challenge. This is not a challenge at all. I don't know how she did it. But she's got a lot of leverage in the NXT apparently. So next week, it's going to be a challenge. Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton for the World Championship title. Can you believe it? I couldn't believe it. Happens that fast. She didn't have to jump through any hoops. 0 hoops for this girl. While, Kiana James, what she had to do to get this championship title belt match. It was quite the feat. And ended in defeat, too. Anyways, moving on. We go right, of course, to backstage again. It's with the Diamond Mine. Actually, we go backstage with the Diamond Mine, and they're talking, about how happy to be together again. And then we got the D'Angelo family, Tony D, and Matt. I'm Channing Stacks Lorenzo. Hey, them coming out there, and they're basically checking out the competition, checking out the Creed brothers. What's going to happen and that stuff there, and it's basically about a lot of respect happening back there because how the Tony D'Angelo family, the Stacks and Tony D, looked after Ivy Nile against the Schism, Jogue, AC, Mr. AC, Jogue Gacy. You say it fast, I don't say it. Anyways. They're talking to respect and stuff. And then we got ourselves Malik Blade and Yadler Sanofe coming in there. And yeah, I guess now the tag team division, NXT's tag division, I guess they're really trying to energize it a little bit more. So now we got 3 tag teams up there. And they can just kind of carry on throughout the whole day. This whole Tony D and Channing Stacks Lorenzo checking out the competition. It's going to be a segment that's going to wean its way through the whole day. And who knows when they've actually recorded it. Could have been, a long time ago. So anyways, we move on to our next match. Oh, it's going to be big. Oh, this is representing the metaphor. It's Oro Menza versus. That's right. Music plays. It's Ilja Dragonov, the Mad Dragon. So this match here. So yeah, Ilja Dragunov versus Oro Menza. Now with Oro Menza, it's the metaphor, what's his name? Noam Dar, Jakira, Jackson, and Lash Legend. And they got one of the firest. They got their entrances absolute fire. It's great. A great entrance, Look back of the retro days of the spy shows, whatnot. Anyways, regardless. So this match here was about almost 10 minutes. Ilja Dragunov, Oro Menza, two great competitors. I say this. Ilja Dragunov, he's like a gatekeeper to the NXT, I think. Official gatekeeper. Unofficial gatekeeper. If you can fight Ilja Dragunov, if you can keep up with Ilja Dragunov, you belong in the NXT, I truly believe. If you can, if you can keep toe-to-toe with him and even beat Ilja Dragunov, you have your possibilities of being champion is really good. Potential is phenomenal. And so, but nevertheless, Oro Menza, he's got a history. He's a former tag team champion, baby. So he knows what it's like to have gold. So this match here, it was hard hitting. It was just pretty good. Oro Menza does this wonderful springboard moonsault. Beautiful, crushes Dragunov there. Now Dragunov, it's one thing, is the whiff kick, I think. It's officially, the unofficial call name is the whiff kick. Dragunov goes for Enziguri. And 5 feet away from the Enziguri was, Oro Menza, pretending to duck it. They forgot to change the camera angle. Camera tricks. You change the camera angle, and that 5 foot away, Enziguri looks like it could have actually hit. Oh, like, it doesn't. Oh, regardless. Okay, so that happened, but nevertheless. This was a good match. Oro Menza with this massive, it's like a Pele-style kick. He does a back bump kick. He just kicks Dragunov right in the face. Right in the face. Now here are the ending hits. Ilja Dragunov, Oro Menza, he's kind of a showboating bit there. A showboating bit. And he's going to be doing the, a torpedo Moscow onto Ilja Dragunov himself. Setting up for that. But however, Ilja turns things around with a nice old power bomb, just throws down Oro Menza, And then after that, it's Ilja Dragunov's very own torpedo, stupido, I should say, to give him a little bit more respect there. The torpedo Moscow of his own takes down Oro Menza. That's not good. So after the whole thing, it's the metaphor. They leave. They got nothing left to do or say. They just taking care of Oro. After all, he's just been headbutted in the face. And after that, however, this day's not over. The day's not over for Dragunov, for the Mad Dragon, because entering the ring is a Wesley, former North American champion. Now he wants his opportunity at the title for the world champion for Carmelo Hayes. Before Ilja Dragunov, and the Dragunov said, "Well, I don't think so. You lost, and I want my chance." But it's like that. Even though Ilja is right, even though how close it was, Wesley did lose. But it comes down to this: Carmelo Hayes with an all-new do, not quite tight on his head, but an all-new do, looking fresh. Going there, and then he sets out the boundaries. Now everybody was thinking this is going to be a 3-man, it's going to be a, triple threat. They're thinking it's going to be a triple threat. But no triple threat. At least not yet. It might be a triple threat. I guess it's not. Nothing's written in stone. So right now it's Carmelo Hayes. He talks about both of the competitors, how he beat them both, and how he truly feels in his heart that he did beat Dragunov. That there's no question marks or on his victory, even though it doesn't matter. So including his victory against Wesley. So he puts together a match next week. It's going to be this. It's going to be this. It's going to be, of course, for the number one contendership. It's going to be Ilja Dragonov and Wes Lee. They're going to go at it for a number one contendership for the next week's going to be that for September 30th. It's going to be for the championship match. So yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. Okay, so moving on. We got ourselves a little bit of an interesting situation. Domonik Mystirio trying to read up the rules of how to be a referee. But we all know this. At least I can only assume so. While growing up, getting a little bit older, I'll bet any money that Domonik Mystirio, his first experiences in the ring was being a referee. I'm assuming that. I'm taking a wild guess. But anyways, Domonik Mystirio, he doesn't care about those rules. No stinking rules. He's a referee. He'll make them up himself. Didn't really say that. But anyways, so we go backstage. It's Mackenzie Mitchell. And she's with Nathan Frazer. And, apparently he's gone viral. Nathan Frazer's gone viral. The question is, do you have any adjustments going in on this next Heritage match, Nathan Frazer? And Nathan's like, well, he's gone viral because of a rookie mistake in his last match where he lost. He hit the ropes. When you run, rookie mistakes, when you hit the ropes, you don't hit them right. If you don't have your arms grabbing the ropes, you can possibly flip through the ropes. And he did. He hit the back of his head and he choked himself. He came forward. He caught the rope in his throat. It was hilarious. Very dangerous, though. So yeah, he thinks everything's okay now. For the Heritage Cup International there. But he will not slow down, not ever. Moving on, we have a situation where we have Thea Hail. She's being, manipulated by JC Jane. She's been dressing more blacker, wearing her dark eyeshadow and everything like that, getting like her broody teens. Oh, I'm rebelling now with JC. And then Gigi comes down there and she's like trying to give some advice to some, Thea Hail. What are you doing? I know JC a lot better than you do, and I'm telling you, this is the wrong path. And then we got Blair Davenport. She comes down there and she tries to talk down to Gigi Dolan. Gigi, the sexiest woman of the NXT. So at least we're seeing some Gigi there. This is great. So they're all having a problem with Gigi apparently. So it comes down to this: a match is set. It's going to be Thea Hail versus Gigi Dolan. How did that happen? Gigi was just looking after for Thea, but now they're fighting each other. How it turns around, like how ironic. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? So now, next up, it's the Heritage Cup. And the rules are, for this one here, obviously it's the Global Heritage Invitational. The Heritage Cup rules do not apply here. It's its own rules. Now, this is part of the round robin A and B groups. They have it's a 12-minute time limit, and of course, there's 2 points for a win, and a draw equals 1 point. And so I figured the only way you can get a draw is if you go past the 12-minute mark and no one gets a victory, and that's how you get a draw. Winner of Group A fights winner of Group B. All right, and now, and then eventually the winner of that will fight Noam Dar for the championship, the Heritage Cup, baby. So right now we got a match. It's Duke Hudson, his second match. His first one he had at Level Up, LVL Up, against Akira Tozawa. And of course, Akira lost, giving Duke Hudson his first win. So now it's a do or die, apparently, for Nathan Frazer. So what happens in this match? Why? It was roughly 3 minutes long, a little over 3 minutes. Nathan Frazer. Well, Duke Hudson is like twice the size of Nathan. He's a gigantic dude. Duke. He's a big man versus cruiserweight. Now Nathan Frazer does have a massive a tope. He does a massive springboard off the top there, just crushing Duke Hudson outside the ring. Now Duke Hudson is a bigger guy, and he used his size advantage. He got the corner Uranagi onto Nathan Frazer. Nathan Frazer, but Nathan doesn't slow down. Although I didn't really see much of rope work, running the ropes today. Ooh, you learn your lessons, right? So the end sequence was this. Duke Hudson was smashing the holy hell out of Nathan Frazer. Picks him up for the Razor's Edge. So he picks him up on his shoulders. And he's got to throw him right towards the corner like a buckle bomb style, I think. And then that's when Nathan Frazer, he's going through the air and he grabs the head. Scissors the head of, Duke Hudson. And then, what's that? Hurricanrana's him right in the corner. A la Rey Mysterio is up in the corner. Duke Hudson goes flying. And then, the weirdest thing, Duke Hudson goes charging after Nathan Frazer. Nathan does a spin kick to the nuts. Wacko! Well, not really quite to the nuts. But it's the groinal area. The lower stomach. He spin kicks him. I guess it was so hard that Duke Hudson falls down on a heap, giving Nathan Frazer enough time to climb the top ropes to do the Phoenix Splash. Do the Phoenix Splash off the top rope. The Phoenix Splash. So yeah. So in Group B, we got ourselves Nathan Frazer, his first victory, and Duke Hudson with his first loss. So everybody, Joe Coffey's got 2, Nathan Frazer's got 2, Duke Hudson's got 2, Akira Tozawa, 0. But he's got to fight next week, Akira. So will he become 0 still, or will he get his first 2, or maybe even a 1, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2. Okay, moving on. Now we go backstage again with the old, what's that? The Tony D'Angelo and Shane Dexter with everybody there, in the Diamond Mine, gym, I guess. So everybody's out there, like Hank and Tank, and then you got yourself, Idris Inoue and Malik Blade, and then finally we got ourselves a little bit of extra people down there. It's Bronco Nima and Lucien Price. Lucien Price there. And it's hilarious because what's that? Mr. Scripps comes out there. Hey, I know the streets like Bronco Nima and, Lucien Price. I know the streets. That's right. It's Reginald of the Streets. That's what he was known as. Before he joined the circus. He was a street kid. I'm Reginald. Don't step on my glasses. I will get very upset. That's right. I don't know why I'm making fun of Reginald so much. Or Scripps. Scripps. Okay, so yeah. We move on. And next up, we got ourselves our big match. It is, what's that? Tyler Bate versus Dabba Kato. Dabba Kato versus Tyler Bate. Yes, right. It's Jack and a Beanstalk. And guess who's a Beanstalk? So yeah, before the match even starts, it's, the Swami Tyler Bate. You wouldn't think he would try and get the upper hand, but he does. He attacks Dabba Kato. Now, Dabba Kato is maybe 1.5 times larger. 1.5 times, almost 2 times larger than Tyler Bate. That's how giant Dabba Kato is, and that's how small Tyler Bate is. But he's a big, strong boy. Big, strong boy. Can big, strong boy beat the big, strong man? In Dabba Kato. Dabba Kato! And Dabba Kato does his... Now, this should have been the finisher right here. This is... he looks at Cobra Clutch. Gets the Cobra Clutch on really hard, man. If this was Dabba Kato doing this in real life, like Cobra Clutch, putting his full strength in there, you'd be passed out. You'd be sleeping in no time at all. You'd be counting sheep. Past that, you'd be snoring. But anyway, it's not about Dabba Kato. It's about Tyler Bate. He's got a big future, and his championship future is really big up ahead. So now Dabba starts getting chopped down by Tyler Bate. Now Tyler does his a springboard lariat, where he jumps head first or shoulder first into the top rope, springboarding him off and to a massive lariat. One didn't work, 2 didn't work. He went for 3 of them. 3, baby! All 3 of them very highly skilled maneuvers, because if this goes wrong, You can get whiplash. You can miss. You can just like fall out of the ring. Yeah. But Tyler Bate, triple. It's a triple. So this is where the big strong boy shows up his strength. He gets Dabba Kato on his shoulders with the airplane spin. You know, he spins around a couple of times. They don't count. They're just shocked that it's happening. So this is pretty much it for Dabba Kato. The big man gets dizzy. That's it. He can't get up. So after that, it's the old Tyler Bate does the floating Santon, the floating boy Santon. That's the spinning boy, something like that. But it's a corkscrew Santon. It's pretty impressive. Yep, and Tyler Bate with a convincing victory over Dabba Kato. Yabba Dabba Kato! You know, he'd not be yelling that anymore. You know, it's a big man loses a match. Well, at least he's a big guy. Okay, moving on. We go backstage and it's a little bit interaction between two champions. It's Domonik Mystirio, Dirty Dom, and you know, Carmelo Hayes, and they both have to. They're both looking for challengers for their you know, championship, you know, titles. Domonik, he's like, well, I'm out to. He's a referee. He's like, well, I'm out to pick my own challenger. I mean, see who's going to be my next challenger. It's hilarious. Domonik Mystirio. He's yeah, he's that guy. You know, he's cashing in on his potential. He's some serious talent there, doing some good stuff, and he's with that cheeky sense of humor. And no, there is zero you know, Rhea Ripley. Let's see Domonik Mystirio holding his own. So now with that, we go backstage with Mackenzie Mitchell and a little bit of the you know, Baron Corbin. And he wants he's basically looking into Von Wagner and Bron Breakker. He's entitled. He's enthralled with that triple thing. Or he's with that group there, you know. Anyways, it comes down to this. Well, you know what? If Bron wants to get my attention there, it's all about what who cares about who cares about what Baron Corbin thinks? He's just Baron Corbin. But apparently they got to impress Baron Corbin for some reason, you know. And if you want to do that, you gotta end Von Wagner's career. You gotta end his career. Hey everybody, I'm Baron Corbin. You gotta end Von Wagner's career. Okay, next up we got ourselves a little interview. It's Kelly Kincaid trying to get some final words with Tiffany Stratton over the whole Becky Lynch situation. But yep, no words for Tiffany Stratton, not yet anyways. She's too much in shock, which has happened. So moving on, we go into a number one contendership match for the North American Championship. Number one contendership for the North American Championship being currently held by Domonik Mystirio, Dirty Domonik Mystirio, who just so happens to be the special guest referee in this match. And this is Mustafa Ali versus a Dragon Ali. That's right. And this one here was a little under, 10 minutes. This is good. This was a fun match. I mean, the question was, will Domonik Mystirio be a terrible referee, just like John Cena was? You know, all hands on. No. Actually, for 90% of the match, Domonik Mystirio called it right down the middle. You know, they both had a pinning situation, and the counts was perfectly even on both sides. It's true. Dragon Lee, now they did fight outside. Dragon Lee with a massive tope suicida hitting Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali getting on second rope with a massive tornado DDT on Dragon Ali. Now Dragon Lee catching Mustafa with a power bomb, a power la bomba. Now here's where it gets fun. Here's where it gets really interesting, I should say. You know, Dragon Lee, why he after the power bomb, Domonik Mystirio goes for a pin, or he goes for the count, and it's a regular count, 1, 2, and Mustafa Ali kicked out cleanly. Dragon Lee thinks, oh, you son of a bitch. You cheated. You cheated me. Now you must pay. So what are you getting all upset into, Dominik's face? It's, Dragon Lee turns around to I guess, finish off Mustafa Ali. Mustafa grabs him, small packages him up, and 1, 2, 3, that's right. The backwoods, so to speak. And the Dragon Lee losing the most humiliating way possible, the roll-up. So therefore, Dragon Lee is taking one in the rear. Taking it in the rear. That's what happens when you take a roll-up loss. But however, it gets interesting because after the match, it's Domonik Mystirio. Now, Domonik Mystirio, he chose his next victim, or he chose his next challenger personally, and he chose Mustafa Ali. Now, Domonik Mystirio, he raises the hand at Mustafa. You're the champion! And Mustafa's like all happy until he realizes the truth. That he's been played the fool. And he bashes, Domonik Mystirio upon the head with this fist. Very upset. How dare you, son of a bitch! Now this is where it gets really interesting. After that, we go backstage, and it gets, Ilja Dragonov. He's got the problem with Trick Williams. Trick Williams is, his opinion. His personal opinion he's got a problem with. Now, what is Trick Williams' opinion? Now, Trick Williams, in private, told Carmelo Hayes, yes, he does feel Carmelo Hayes has the ability to beat Ilja Dragonov a second time. No problems. So Dragonov is back in the back locker room, engaging a conversation with, Trick Williams. Thinking, you didn't just say that, did you? Did you really mean that? I don't think you really meant that. Do you honestly think he can beat me? It's like, why do you care what, Trick Williams thinks, if you can beat someone or not? But apparently now, Dragonov needs to prove something to Trick Williams. Is it love in the air? He needs the respect of Trick. I don't know, but it's just strange that happened. I will teach Carmelo Hayes a lesson if I win. So yeah, we move on, and it's backstage. It's just ridiculous, we go. It's with the Drew Gulak, and what's that? Charlie Dempsey and Damon Kemp. And basically, it's they're getting together with what's the name? What's that? Miles. What's that? Miles Bourne. That's right. I can't remember. Mr. No Tongue. It's literally, I don't think Miles Bourne has a tongue in his mouth. He can't breathe. His speech kind of like tells me that. Anyways, Miles Bourne is being, I guess, trying to be recruited by, what's that? The good old Denim Boys. But anyways, yeah, it's Charlie. It's Drew Gulak. He's upset. He's like, "Oh, how dare you!" He's really upset. Yet Miles Bourne has the audacity to come back to the training place and start sweeping. Oh, I'm doing my work here. I'm your understudy, but I'm going to be having a wrestle match against you guys. So yeah, that's happened. Moving on. Took me a while because I can remember Miles Bourne's name. Couldn't remember Miles Bourne's name and it didn't write it down. I did, but some other paper. Thank goodness I found it. So next up, we got ourselves another Global Heritage Invitational match. And same rules, it's a round robin in each group A, Group B. 12-minute time limit. Pinfall or victory is a victory, pinfall submission is a victory, 2 points. That's, a draw is 1 point and whatnot, Same thing. So this one here is against, it is, of course, what is that? From representing the Brawling Brutes, it's, what's that? Butch versus Axiom. So this is big. This is a big one. Now, I always wondered how is it going to be, how is the ever match going to happen to be a draw. And I figured, yeah, they're going to have a draw in this competition. And when's it going to happen? Why, we have... Butch won his first match, and this is Axiom's first match. So Axiom's got 0 points. Butch has got 2 points. Now what's going to happen? It was a nice match. It was about 12 minutes long. So yeah. Now it was a lot back and forth. The 2-minute warning, however, I guess it got in Axiom's head. He tried to do a springboard maneuver, but however he slipped up a bit. Butch took advantage with a power bomb, just a huge sit-down power bomb. It's almost like a pile driver. He lands such high in the shoulders, it's almost like a pile driver power bomb. But however, the match goes on, and there's very little time left. Axiom gets his golden ratio kick on, Butch goes for the pin, but Butch was way too close to the ropes. His arm went underneath the ropes. Referee called it like, nope, he didn't hold the ropes, but his arm did break the plane. Apparently, that still counts. Match goes on. Butch ends up getting the not bitter end, but his finisher onto Axiom. He kicks out of it. The bitter end. So yeah, he kicks out of it with seconds to go. And what's to do? What can he do? Besides sit there and take the draw. So yeah, this went to a whole distance. It went the distance. It went for speed. Not really, but yeah. So yep, right now, Butch with the most points in the competition, with 3 not out of reach yet, and it's Axiom with one. Tyler Bate has not yet competed yet, so we'll find out. And Charlie Dempsey with 1 Laos, baby. So next up, we got ourselves a little bit of a pre-match thing with, Von Wagner with a nice speech about things. He's clearly reading a teleprompter. It's hilarious. And he has a little love speech with his table. Robert Stone gets there. Are you ready? Let's go. And he's got his new shirt on. It's, you're gonna get tabled. I mean, that is, I don't know. I think that's a lame shirt. You're gonna get tabled. Hey, it's just, I guess you're gonna get tabled. It's right up there, or right down there with Slapnuts. I'm gonna wear a Slapnut shirt. Really? Why? So now there we go. We got the Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stax Lorenzo back there. And finally it's Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo coming in there, and they want to be part of this whole tag team fiasco backstage. And they talked back and forth. Ends up, this squares up what is the inevitable. The full-out brawl, baby! So they all fight back there in the Diamond Mine thing. And this is in Brutus and Julius Creese's element. We're in our element! We're happy to be here! I mean, I left for a couple minutes when they all fight. So when she got back, nobody's gone. And, Bruce, whatever. It was a lot of fun. So moving on, we got a big match in women's division. Gigi Dolan versus Chase. I don't know if I can call her Chase U anymore. She's pretty much on her own. It's Thea Hail. She has different charisma to herself. Not as charismatic as before. Not as the hyperactive charisma, the hyperactive energy that she used to carry. Anyways, it is Gigi Dolan, Thea Hail. How does this match go? Now, one thing for sure, we've got the pleasure of seeing Gigi Dolan in the ring. She is the sexiest woman in all of the NXT, and she looks great. Her ring gear looks really good. She's the knockout, baby. What about this match? Now, with Thea Hail, of course, it's JC Jane on Thea Hail's corner. Now, this was a lot of back and forth. This was also a very short match. This was about the length of a commercial break, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Really upsetting. But my perfect world would have been at least a 5 to a 7 minute match. That would have been better. So here we go. It gets to a point where Thea Hail gets on the Kimura lock on to Gigi Dolan. Gigi, she's on there for good. But Gigi fights out of it. She gets to the rope. She pulls out of the rope. The hold is broke. Gigi slides out of the ring there. Thea Hail tries to apply the move one more time outside the ring. They scuffle. Thea Hail gets thrown into the ring post. And then with a tripping clothesline, she trips the trip and lariat. She trips her up and lariats her down right on the 5 inches of pad on top of the hard concrete and throws in Thea Hail. Now this is where the ending happens, the end sequence here. Thea Hail's in the ring. The referee goes and checks on Thea Hail, making sure she's completely all right. His back's to the world. He doesn't see anything that's happening. And then it's JC Jane. She jumps up on the ring apron, making sure that the referee's back is completely turned. And then it's Blair Davenport. She comes and attacks Gigi Dolan. She spins around, she grabs her arm, and she falls backwards on her arm. Oh, I'm not sure what exactly that is. But it's a move that she took on the 5 inches of soft padding on top of the hard concrete, and she tosses in Gigi Dolan like it's unbeknownst to anybody else, especially Thea Hail. Thea Hail quickly puts on the Kimura lock again. Gigi Dolan taps out. Gigi loses. Thea Hail wins. Now we go to backstage. It is hilarious. It's Kalani Jordan. She's talking shop with Lyra Valkyria. Lyra is just impressed with how far Kalani has gone, in such a short time. 3 matches, like, wow, you're doing very good. Your skills are like really. So she's basically, giving the flowers to Kalani. But here it goes, Dana Brooke, like the jealous girlfriend. What are you doing? That's my friend. What are you even doing here? Me. I got the experience. Me. I won a 24/7 championship. Me. She didn't really say that. And she doesn't really sound like that. But she might as well. I mean, this is a natural Karen right here. It's Dana Brooke. Now, even though, Chelsea Green, she is the official Karen of the WWE, but she's just too She's just too damn charming. Chelsea's just too damn charming to be a real, Karen. This one here, Dana Brooke. Oh, she's just the worst. She's the worst. And apparently it's Lyra Valkyria. It's like, well, you know what? Kalani, you should really pick your friends. Pick your friends a lot better. So I think there's going to be a big old match. It's going to be Lyra Valkyria versus Dana Brooke. And I think Lyra Valkyria, this is her chance to really show that she is truly fearless once again in that ring. But we'll only find out probably next week. Next up, we got to go outside with your women's champion getting ready to leave the whole thing. And she has a words to say Tiffany Stratton, some words to say to Becky Lynch, who wants her title match next week, who is going to get her title match next week. So she's very confident that Becky Lynch will lose. And with the big words, with the hardest B on the bitch. Ooh. It is, everybody's like, yeah, everybody felt when she said the B word. When she said bitch, everybody's like, oh, I felt that one in the soul. So yeah, this should be good, I think. I hope Tiffany Stratton wins and cements herself as one of the true greats women in the wrestling, but I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. This is Becky Lynch. She never had the NXT Championship gold. I mean, this might be her on her bucket list, and it just might give it to Becky Lynch. But we'll find out next week. But up next, we got ourselves a big match. It is Von Wagner versus Bron Breakker. Now, in this match, of course, it's Baron Corbin watching. So yeah. So this match was about 13 minutes. It's a no disqualification match. Baron Corbin joins the ringside commentary. And he's saying this, well, I'm here, I'm looking for studs. And I think he's looking for the toughest guy competition there and to take them out. Now, what would have made sense back in the day, when Baron Corbin first started, taking out the best people, but he's coming down here because he couldn't hack it in the main roster. Could not hack it, so he's down here. So he's talking his rubbish. So we got ourselves, they fight on inside the ring there. Now, what is this? They had everything. Now, this was no disqualification. Bron Breakker used the kendo stick on the face. They used kendo sticks. They used chairs. They went everywhere. They went the whole distance. Now, they fought outside a couple of times. Bron Breakker was thrown over top of the commentating table. They fought outside more. The second time they fought outside, Bron Breakker, he got introduced to the, there's this, what's that, bird's perch up there where you can see like a balcony where a lot of people tend to watch, a lot of the superstars watch the matches up on this balcony. And it is covered with this Bristol board. And Bron Breakker gets delivered headfirst through that Bristol board. Everybody's like, oh, that was a big moment. And Vaughn's like, that's me. I did that. It's like, wow. You know, it's like a stunt. It was like a stunt from a movie. So anyways, they fight out back outside there. Von Wagner goes for a power bomb onto the table. Bron Breakker fights for a bit, fights it. And then ends up, it's the Dirty Dancing move. Bron Breakker gets some distance and he runs up on Von Wagner. He jumps up and it's a power bomb. He gets power bomb right to the table. And what does that mean? Nothing really. Power bomb through the table these days. I don't know if you think it would be over after getting thrown head first through Bristol board and power bomb through that collapsible table. Bron Breakker's thrown back into the ring there. Von Wagner tries to pick him up for something. Bron Breakker gets behind Von Wagner with a nut shot, one nut shot. Whammo! It's over. And then one spear later, Von Wagner gets speared out of his boots. It's over. 1, 2, and 3, but the day's not over yet. It gets crazy. It gets crazy. Now, what happens after the match? Von Wagner is, all sad, and Robert Stone is consoling him out there, And then it's Bron Breakker with the chair shot, one last chair shot to the back of that, onto the back of Von Wagner. Von Wagner feels it. He goes down, baby. Now it gets strange. Von Wagner gets thrown into these steel steps. Bron Breakker separates the steel steps, places Von Wagner's head on the steel steps, looks back at Mr. Stone, Robert Stone. Baron Corbin thinks, hey, what's he looking at me for? Hey, what? Of course, Baron Corbin would think Bron Breakker is staring at Baron, because it's, Baron Corbin's world. But he was looking at Robert Stone, I know it, before. And then he does the unthinkable. He crushes down on that steel steps on Bron Breakker's head. Now, apparently, you said that Bron doesn't care about, what's that? Von Wagner is Trigom Sophili. Something like that. His fused brain, fused skull syndrome. When he was a child, he's got these metal plates in there. So, did Von Wagner's steel plates in his head save him from his head being crushed like a grape? So, yes. So, the questions are, yes, is Von Wagner dead or is he alive? Yeah, clearly he's alive. I mean, they're not going to kill someone on WWE. But it does end crazy. Von Wagner Bron Breakker squashing the head of Von Wagner between two steel steps. That happened. Now, that does wrap it up for this week's episode of the NXT. For our podcast listeners, stay tuned for after a short break, we'll have some SmackDown. But for the YouTube listener, or for your YouTube audience member, this is it for this episode. I've been your host, Lip Hazlewood, for The Wrestling Show. See you next time.